Can't you tell by the music, bro? Can't you tell by the love you felt before you took one step through the door? And that next level teaching got us reaching higher every week. Frequent flyer, speaking life despite deceased environments we in, cause he's inside. It's not a private party, you're invited. Come in tired, believe inspired. All generations, even cyber. Find us on the web like we some spiders. Let's slow it down so you understand how it's going down. Up in here, there's one brew. Gotta love everybody that comes through. Them doors, insured. Grace is what we endorse. Faith is what we help grow. So welcome to the fam center, you know.
So growing up in church and testimony service, you would hear people get up and quote a verse in the Bible. They would say, the race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but to the one that endureth till the end.
That's right.
Here's the problem with that. There's no verse in the Bible that says that. It's not in there. And as we get older, I'm starting to realize people was getting up in testimony service quoting a lot of things that weren't in the Bible.
Yeah.
The Bible actually says in Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse number 11, the race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor do wise men always have resource and money. Solomon talks about how, like, you could be the fastest person and still lose the race.
Yeah.
You could be the strongest person and still lose the battle. You can be the wisest person and still end up broke. So he talks about time and chance, how when an opportunity presents itself, sometimes things go in the way of the person that it's just their day.
That's right.
Right? So you have like the fastest runner and he pulls his hamstring.
Yeah.
And he's the other guy who's not the fastest, he wins the gold medal. So does he give the gold medal back?
Right. Just because he just happened to.
It's like, yo, man, I'm sorry that you pulled your hand. In other words, Eminem said it best. You only get one shot.
Yeah.
Do not miss your chance to blow. Because opportunity knocks once in a lifetime. The Bible tells us that time and chance can happen to anyone.
That's right.
So this year, when we were praying about what was God saying concerning 2024, the Lord spoke to me and said, this is the year to stay ready, that you always have to be prepared, that you always have to have a mindset that this could be your day.
Yeah.
So even with you and working out and various things, you're encouraging people like, man, you got to keep going. You got to keep, things are going to change if you keep going. And people are like, yeah, but I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I get tired. So like, how do you keep people motivated, man, to stay ready regardless of how they feel? Because, you know, that'll set you back every day if you go off of how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, man, I tell people all the time, if you don't have self-motivation, there's nothing I can do for you. So I mean, the bottom line is if you're not motivated yourself to do it initially starting out, we don't even have anything to talk about. I can give you every pill, I can give you every workout, I can give you every exercise. If you aren't willing to do it yourself, like I tell the Saints all the time, I can help y'all, but if y'all don't come to the gym, I can't help you. If you don't get to the gym and make it a point to be there, I can't do anything for you. I'm not going to call you up and say, hey man, you ain't make it. You got to get over it. We don't do that. I'm not a life coach. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, a lack of motivation is going to have a lot of people miss their opportunity in life.
That's right.
Because opportunity will present itself, according to the Bible, to everyone. Everybody's going to get a chance to do something great in life. The problem is that chance will present itself, and they are not prepared. They're not ready because they lack motivation. I was telling Wally this one day. We were having a conversation. For those of you that don't know, Wally's the incredible drummer at our church. And this was some years ago. He's like, man, sometimes I just don't be motivated. I said, Wally, motivation is something that you have to find internally.
That's right.
Because you're not going to always be able to find something externally to motivate you. Sometimes you can.
Yeah.
But there are times where you can. Okay, I'll give you an example. When a woman is getting ready to get married, she's motivated to lose weight because she wants to get in that dress. But after you get married, are you still motivated to maintain your figure when there really isn't anything to dress up for? Or a guy is motivated to get himself together and look good because he has a job opportunity presented in front of him. But can you stay motivated waiting on the job opportunity when you don't know that it's there?
Yeah, I mean, it goes even with my own personal like fitness journey, man. I've been doing this for 30 years, bro.
Man.
It's been 30-some years since y'all was making fun of me lifting lampshades in the basement.
Oh, my God.
My own mama made fun of me when I first started lifting weights.
My brother,
y'all.
I went downstairs.
My own mother, y'all.
And my brother was so determined. Eddie used to be real skinny. He was so determined to gain weight and lift weights. He was lifting a lampshade. First of all, that's not balanced properly because one side is heavy, the other side is light. He's down like, And I just remember laughing. He was like, you keep laughing, but someday I'm going to be.
It wasn't that extreme with the origin story, but
I will be the strongest man.
No, I just remember
30 years later.
I remember my mom making fun of me, man. And she wasn't, my mom was just, she was just, you know, she had never seen me lift weights. I had a real thin body my whole life.
It was worth it.
She was making fun of me.
It was worth it.
But I remember one time, it was probably about a year or 2 years later, I had started getting big. And mom was like, okay, you made your point.
Okay.
Well,
let's just say I took this remote control. It was like, I'm going to play the harmonica.
You made your point.
He was like, you can't become a harmonica player playing this remote. Lifting up a lampshade.
I didn't have any weights, man.
You've been doing this for 30 years, man.
30
So people
years.
look at you and they're like, oh, man, you're so big. I want to be that way tomorrow. No.
It doesn't work that way. And there's a lot of days I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I have made it a part of my lifestyle. And that's what I tell everyone. Make fitness part of your lifestyle. Make it a part of your routine weekly, or you're not going to do it. And that comes with anything. Like,
it comes with everything in life.
If you're trying to stay motivated to continue to do something, it has to become a part of your routine, a part of your life.
Yeah, with the expectation of a result that's favorable.
That's right.
So Solomon said, hey, look, sometimes the race is not won by the fastest person.
Right.
Sometimes the victory is not won by the strongest person. Nobody would have ever thought back in the 80s when Buster Douglas fought Mike Tyson that he was going to knock Mike Tyson out. No. Now, a lot of y'all too young to know about that, but at that time, Mike Tyson was on a tear. Everybody was scared of him.
They were deathly afraid of him.
He was knocking people out in 20, 30 seconds. Pay-per-view, which was a big deal back then. You couldn't go get... I remember Brother Brown got pay-per-view. Shout out to Brother Brown. Yeah. He got pay-per-view for everybody. He went upstairs to get popcorn. By the time he got back down, the dude was knocked out.
That happened with Uncle Greg, too.
Uncle Greg had the same thing happen.
Uncle Greg. We went to our Uncle Greg's house, same thing. And back then, you had to pay like $100 and something. It was crazy.
It wasn't
the fight was over in the first round.
And he went to get some popcorn or something and came back. It was over.
Barely
with,
done eating snacks, and it was over with.
So back then, when Mike Tyson fought Buster Douglas, Buster Douglas was not a threat. No. Like, nobody thought he was going to win that fight.
Nope.
But that day, Mike was kind of going through some personal things. Yep. He wasn't on his A game, and he got caught slipping. Yep. Bow! Knocked him out cold. So nobody would have expected that. But Buster Douglas, he was preparing, he was working hard because he went into the fight with an expectation of a favorable result.
That's right.
2024 is a time frame where I believe it's very important for all of us to wake up every day like, man, this could be the day where something major happens in my life, something big happens. So I got to stay motivated. I got to stay on. I got to stay ready.
That's right.
As a pastor, as a preacher, I would be a liar if I said that every time I put a sermon together, I'm excited to do it.
Right.
Because it can be tedious. It can be exhausting. And one of the hardest things is putting in all that work and not really knowing if the people even understand what you're trying to relay.
Right.
But I have a responsibility, according to the scriptures, to feed God's people as a shepherd. So I got to stay on. And then you never know. Opportunities present themselves, and you got to do what you got to do from there.
I think about, as far as that goes with you and like as far as your own ministry and how you, orate to the people, I guess that's the way to say it.
Orator.
A lot of times you might get a little frustrated because I relate that to when I used to MC back in the day.
Yeah.
I would be spitting these crazy lyrics that were nuts. And everybody would be sitting there looking at me like, what is he talking about? And then I say something so simple. They'd be like, oh! And I'm like, it took me 2 seconds to write that. And I know that that's what you go through sometimes because I'm sitting there listening to you and I'm watching and understanding what you're saying. And the people is going over their heads sometimes. And I know that's frustrating.
I gotta tell you
man.
this story, dog. I gotta tell you this story. We was talking about staying motivated, right? We did a revival. It was me, Apostle Duhart, Pastor Kenneth Lee.
Yeah.
Now, everybody knows amongst the three of us, Apostle Duhart is just a monster preacher, man, because
Right.
he does history. He's just a very sound doctrinal preacher.
Right.
So we went down there, but me, I'm the kind of person, I know how to evaluate what's going on. I say,
Yeah.
man, it's a different crowd, Kev. That's not the kind of ministry.
You were
that
reading
comes-
the room, though.
I was reading the room.
Yeah.
I say, man, listen, probably don't want to hit him with all that,
Yeah.
whoop-de-woo. Kevin, no, Jay, I have to give them the word the way the Lord gives it to me. So he got up and he started preaching. And this dude preached the best message I've ever heard in my life. But it was so over their heads, the crowd was like, crickets. So he gets done, he's like, man, I don't know, did I do a good job? I was like, no, you didn't. Because nobody knew what you was talking about but me and Kenneth. So then Kenny, he preaches the next night. He gets up there and he goes, he pulls an ironing board out.
What?
With an iron and a wrinkled shirt. He says, you see this ironing board? The whole crowd was like, yeah. He said, this ironing board is the world. It was like, okay. He said, you see this wrinkled shirt? Yeah. This wrinkled shirt is your life. Okay. You see this iron? Yeah. This iron is the Lord. He said, sometimes the world, he puts the shirt on top of the ironing board, will have you wrinkled and stretched out. But when you get a hold of God, the only thing you got to do, and he plugged the iron in, is plug into the power of the Holy Ghost. And steam started coming out of the iron. He's like, in the spirit of God, we'll iron you out. And people was like, ah! Kevin was sitting there like, they didn't do that for me because they didn't know what you was talking about.
But it was visual. It was simple. They was like right with it.
Nah, man. No, honestly, man. Honestly, this is the honest to God truth. Several of the biggest opportunities that I've ever had in my life came off of people calling me at the last minute saying, hey, we need you to be here.
Yeah.
So I always had to be ready. Always had to be.
That's right.
The first tour I did with Fred Hammond where he asked me to play keys, I don't even play like that anymore. But I would still practice periodically. He's like, yo, I just want you to play keys on this tour. I'm like, what? So I had to cram and learn all this music. But I was prepped to the degree that I've learned years ago how to play in all my keys, all of my transitions, all of my changes, chord structures. So I was ready to at least keep up with the band. And I played with the coldest, Calvin Rogers, Snoop Evans, Philip Feaster, Lawrence Jones, incredible band. But I was able to keep up because I stayed ready. Some of the biggest preaching opportunities that I've had have been because I always had, Dad told me, if you study to know God, you'll always have a sermon.
Yeah.
So I've had to motivate myself when I didn't have a cheering section.
Yeah.
And everybody feels like, man, if I could just get somebody to cheer me on. Sometimes you got to encourage yourself.
You have to a lot of times, and that's the thing. A lot of people fail because they really rely on a cheering section.
Yeah, man.
I think listen, our upbringing is different than a lot of people, and I don't ever want to take for granted, the types of values that were instilled within us with our parents, our aunt and our uncle. Even my uncle Greg was passed, my aunt Kay. We just have always been very confident in who we were because that's what we were taught.
Yeah.
So we've always been able to still find a way to do what we needed to do, even without anybody necessarily in our corner. Now that extra push, it ain't no telling where you could go with that. Based off of what we've had to do without anyone really cheering for us, I mean, come on, man. Like, the bottom line is we've still found a way to make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So we appreciate the applause, but it is not, our success is not predicated on that.
Yeah, it's an added benefit.
Yeah.
And the thing is, man, and I want everybody that's watching to understand this, especially if you claim to have a relationship with God, he will always give you what's necessary for you to find the strength to overcome any opposition, to push forward. People look at our family and they assume we've never been through anything. We've been through some of the most traumatizing, strenuous, stressful situations. And we know that the foundation of our faith in God is what has kept us.
That's right.
And our love and camaraderie as a family has been able to push us beyond, because we always knew something big is going to come. If we just keep pushing, if we just keep working, that payday is going to take place.
Right.
You know, I'm looking just at our ministry, even with the gym. People see that gym and they're like, "Oh, Million's got a gym. He thinks he's better than me." Like, bro, y'all didn't know how long it took to even get to this point and how much maintenance it requires to continue to be motivated.
That's right.
To keep it going. So I don't care personally about the criticism of those who haven't been a part of the journey, that have absolutely no idea what we've had to overcome to get to this place, man.
They really don't, and we don't talk about it. You know, it's not something that we feel we need to talk about. We don't use our struggle as a source of, you know, glorification to our situation.
We've been through it.
Yeah, we're not that type of family. But at the same time, we still have to reflect at times on the fact that a lot of people would not. I was talking to my dad the other day. We were having a conversation about a lot of the things that our family has gone through that most people just wouldn't have survived.
Oh, they wouldn't have made it.
They wouldn't have made it. So you still have to mention it, because you still have to remember for yourself. It's not for the people, it's for you. And you know what I'm saying? It keeps you grounded in what you're doing.
Oh, and it keeps your faith strong. You know, but this is, I will say this, and I appreciate this. I have had people come to us and say, "Man, I went through a situation and I was about to fall apart."
Yeah.
And then I remembered seeing how your family went through it. And it kept me strong to say, if they can make it, I can make it. And that's another reason why we have to stay ready and we have to stay motivated, because you never know who's really watching you.
That's right.
Your kids watch you quit, they're going to quit.
Yeah.
When we was kids, our mom and dad had a rule. You can start anything, but you cannot quit. You have to go the whole season of it.
That's right.
Like if we started soccer, basketball, football, we didn't like it, that's fine, but you're going to finish this whole season out,
finish it
and
out.
then you don't have to do it anymore.
That's right.
If we started a class and we didn't like it, okay, that's fine, but you're going to finish this semester out. And at the time, I didn't understand that, but they were teaching us you can't just quit when you don't like something, or when things are not, you know, something that you enjoy, or it didn't pan out the way you thought it would. You know what I mean?
I mean, and that, I mean, that's the thing is, we learned that early on. That was instilled within us early. Yeah. You know what I mean? Both of us. We didn't have a bunch of different jobs. We stayed with the same jobs for, you know,
longer than we should have.
Yeah, because we were taught that. We didn't just, you know, man, I don't like it this week, I'm out. We never did that.
Couldn't relate.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know people that's had 20, 30 jobs in their lifetime. I don't relate to that. And I'm thankful now that obviously we have our own businesses. We're able to do what we did. Yeah. We didn't always work for the church. I mean, both of us, we had different, you just saw some of your, some of the past employees
from back when I was working at the television station,
at a basketball game. So I mean, it didn't start out like this. We've had to go through the system like everyone else, but you know, our outlook on that is
different. It's that push, that motivation. And can I just say, I don't know what you cooking back there, but it is sounding really good. Chef Tiffany's in the house,
and smelling very good.
Sounding good. Everything's great. Yeah, but man, I was thinking about Christ when he was on that cross. What if Jesus was like us?
Yeah,
and it's like, oh no, y'all ain't finna be throwing stuff at me.
Y'all ain't about to put that. You ain't about to put that. You ain't putting them thorns on my head. Like, you really think about
one of y'all hit me with that whip.
Angels, kill him. Like Jesus is like, oh no, what's that? A spirit?
My side?
No.
Oh, in my side? No.
I ain't doing that. I ain't doing all that.
For real though. Like,
he legitimately looked and saw the glory before him. The Bible says he saw the glory before him, meaning that he saw our salvation, he saw our redemption, and he was like, you know what? Matter of fact, this is so powerful. People don't like to discuss the fact that even Christ in the flesh had a moment where he was like,
You the only one who's ever talked about that, bro. And you the only one in the sermon who's ever mentioned it.
Man, listen.
The fact that God was like, I don't know if I want to do this.
He's in the garden, and the reason why it's so powerful, I've heard people say, Jesus said, nevertheless, but they didn't bring out the point that he said it 3 times.
Yeah.
He prays, he says, Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. That's a moment of humanity, because he needed to know what it felt like when we're in a position where we don't want to do it.
That's right.
The only way Jesus can be a fair judge in the end is to understand the human experience. Yes. And he understood in that moment that the human experience knows that what I'm going to have to do is really hard.
Man,
I would prefer to do something different. He said, but nevertheless, which means I still don't want to do it. Not my will, but thy will be done. Which means my motivation is not rooted in desire. People who think that the only time you can be motivated is when you desire to do it, you don't understand what motivation is.
No.
Your marriage is going to suck if all you care about is when I'm happy and she got her hair done. No, you got to be motivated. Dude, you have beautiful children. I know there are days as a parent, it's like, I got to go to this recital. I got to go to this game.
Yeah.
Miracle was always so active in everything. Now Million is active in everything. Calvin was active in everything. You had to go to things that you didn't necessarily want to go to, but you had to stay motivated on your own.
I mean, man, look, that's part of life in general. Like, you got to find a way, you know what I'm saying, like, to make it through, man. Like, it's some days where you literally got to sit on that bed for a quick second and really collect yourself.
It's the side of the bed.
You got that's how, listen, man, when you get older, especially when you become a dad and you become older, and I'm in my 40s now, so I ain't even trying to front. You sit on that bed sometimes and you have to evaluate everything and think, I'm going to do this, and this and get this done, or this ain't going to happen today, man. It's not going to happen. I'm just going to lay back in bed and just be one of them cats at home at 45 playing PlayStation, eating Doritos.
But now, now that we older, you realize, bro, we always felt like our parents had the answer. They didn't always have the answer,
Nope,
man.
they didn't.
They never let us know. There's probably days we was like, Dad, you take me here? Dad, you take me here? Dad, he was like, ah! But he never showed us. Hey, Mama did, though.
Our mom didn't. She didn't even try to front.
She didn't even try to hide.
Hey, my mom was like,
Mom,
nah.
you have some McDonald's?
No!
I'll Mac your Donald. What? Why
I'll
you
Mac your
threatening
Donald's.
me first of all, how do you Mac my Donald's?
Man,
You
know
got
the-
some McDonald's money? I clearly don't. I'm fine.
The worst is though is when you start using the same terms that your parents
use, dog.
man, and your kids call you out of it, man.
I heard my
tell you,
brother
man.
say something to Calvin one day. And I was like, dang, bro, you are our parents, man. And it was, I don't even remember, it was something dumb. Like, Calvin was like, Dad, can I get some Burger King? I'll burger your king right now. Your burger is king? And then you got mad at me. I was like, I started laughing. He was like, man, whatever. You don't know what it feels like. I was like, nah, you ain't getting away with that, dog. You just did a Diana Miller.
Yeah, I did. My mom could laugh at me on that one because I definitely went into Diana Miller mode on that one.
I'll burger
man.
your king. It sounds abusive. Nah, man. Listen, I'm telling you, I know for sure success can be obtained on accident.
Yes.
Listen to what I'm telling you.
Yes.
Because you can hit the lottery and be quote unquote successful in the eyes of society. You can do something lucky and have one lick where you just hit it and it seems like, but sustainable success takes intentionality, it takes focus, it takes endurance, it takes the reality that I got to find the motivation when nothing around me is motivating me. I got to push myself when I feel like laying back in the bed. But to the person that stays ready, that's the reason why they would put those scriptures together. And they would say, race is not given to the swift, battle to the strong, but to the one that endured to the end. I understand that's a song and people will quote it like it's a verse, but what they're saying is, look, man, endurance is so important because sometimes the strongest guy can't outlast the guy with the endurance. Sometimes the fast guy can't outrun the one with the endurance. Sometimes the wisest guy, he may have the insight, the information, and the knowledge, but he'll give up too quick. Because even as a weightlifter, you know there are guys, man, that they can do certain things. You're like, oh, he's so strong.
Yeah.
But they can only lift like, power moments and spurts, but they can't do,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. A lot of my friends, they're powerlifters.
Yeah.
So a powerlifter is someone who lifts in spurts like that.
Yeah.
Heavy amounts of weight for quick spurts. A bodybuilder is somebody who works more so on muscle endurance. We're trying to burn the muscle to try to form the muscle to make it look a certain way.
Yeah.
It's for powerlifters, it's functionality. They don't care about that. They don't care about having abs. If you look at a powerlifter, most of them are real thick in the gut. They're real
like a
heavy type
wheelbarrow.
guys because they don't care about that. So a powerlifter working out with a bodybuilder is extremely difficult in the same way around for a bodybuilder working out with a powerlifter.
Yeah.
A lot of my powerlifter friends who try to do my bodybuilding workouts, like, I would much rather do 500 pounds for 2
Yeah,
than
they don't have the
do
endurance.
your 350 for 10 or how, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so it's completely different, man. It's a completely different,
You're gonna have to have
altogether.
endurance in this season. You can't have spurts.
Nope.
Like this is a time frame where you're gonna have to push yourself and say, you know what, it didn't happen on Tuesday. I'm gonna keep going into Wednesday.
That's right.
It didn't happen on Thursday. I'm gonna keep going to Friday. And I'm going to expect that I'm gonna have my moment.
Yeah.
Because the Bible says time and chance happens to all people. Your moment is gonna present itself. But the problem is not the moment. The problem is our preparation and readiness.
That's right.
Are you ready? Because when it comes and you're not ready, people, I want to get married, but I look at you, you're not motivated to stay on.
Yeah.
I want to be a successful business owner, but can you deal with the time frame where the business is not necessarily prospering the way that you would desire it to and continue forward when the customers aren't there, or it even feels like I'm failing? Can you push yourself? And I'm encouraging everybody today that God has given us the ability within ourselves to push and to press and to know in our hearts, this moment is going to come. Yes. I mean, man, I'm so proud of what you've been able to accomplish, but I've been able to also see the journey of it. So I'm like, when I see you in the gym and I see people working out, I remember when it was a thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you never gave up.
A lot of it too, though, man, and I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all. A lot of it too is also having your spirituality in check. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you got to be perfect.
Not at all.
I know I'm very transparent about what I am and who I am, but I know for facts that you got to have faith. Because if you don't, when you're not able to see the end result, when you don't know what the end result is going to be, you still continue on. That's the type of faith you have to actually succeed, because you don't know what's going to happen.
That's right. That's
you
right.
got to have faith, man. That's one thing that I stand on my faith, man, and I believe. Like, I definitely believe in what God promises.
Oh,
like,
with everything that we've been through, that's why I know faith is the foundation of everything. And the reality is, we talked about it before, if you have courage, that means you push forward in spite of intimidation, in spite of uncertainty, and even sometimes in spite of fear. Where it's like, I really don't know how this is going to pan out, but I'm going to trust God and I'm going to believe him, man. Because one thing is for certain, there are times where I look at my life and I'm like, dude, I really am running this race and I'm exhausted. I'm like Brother Brown. I'm running for my life. I'm running for my life. I'm running for my life. I'm running for my life.
Hey, but listen,
if anybody asks you what's the matter with me, just tell them I'm saved, sanctified, Holy God, water baptized. I got Jesus on my mind, and I'm running. What is that song talking about?
Shoes and food.
yeah, today we rocking the new Gratitudes, man. This is actually one of my favorite pairs I ever got. You know, matching fit, you know how we do, shoes and food. I still got chicken on my breath. Man, I'm so happy to eat. I'm so glad that y'all expressed that y'all want to see more food, because I am wanting to eat some food, so.
Shoes and food.
All right.
What'd you make?
Okay. So we have linguine Alfredo, pancetta, bites in there. They're hitting in there. Some grilled chicken, topped with what? What I season it with?
Lemon, pepper, salt, real salt.
No seasoning. You're supposed to
Obey.
And Old Bay, just a little bit, right, to give it a kick. We've got our tiny breads. What are we calling these?
I don't know, they're good.
Tiny breads. We're going with that.
Bread of heaven.
The bread of heaven. And we've got some potato and sausage soup with potato.
Good. All right, let me try the soup first.
All right.
This is
Yeah,
not
like-
alcoholic, y'all. This is ginger beer. There's no alcohol in it, so I want to
Go with this hot, this kind of soup. This hot
Oh, you want some fresh cheese?
Yes.
on here.
You're like, say when. Enough! Going in.
I feel such warmth. Got a delicious chicken Alfredo here. This looks great.
So buttery.
Shoes and food.
Get angry.
What kind of butter did you use on this?
I used a real Italian butter. I will not disclose today.
Ah!
Don't even love it.
About to gain these 10 pounds, y'all. Feel like a little kid when you have the food.
You wish you had, but you ain't got nothing.
Stay motivated.
Don't let the devil talk you out of whatever you're trying to talk about.
You're not like people watching me eat.
And listen, I don't care what y'all watch.
Well,
You watch me preach.
watch me eat.
Watch me eat.
Love it. We like it.
No, we love
It's
it.
good.
God, have a great week. Every day is canceled. Every bill is paid. My body is healed. My mind is regulated. My family is restored. The devil is feared.
In Jesus' name, we are.
Above only.
Take care.
I really hope you all were blessed by this Faith Alive Boost Bible Study special presentation of Shoes and Food, Season 2, Episode 1. We're going to air a new episode at the end of every month. And again, I hope it was a blessing to you. Can you please help us to continue content like this by sowing into the ministry? Right there on the screen, you have options to give. You can give by going to the Givelify application, look up Faith Apostolic in the city of South Bend, Indiana, look for the Faith Alive emblem, and then click there. You can go to our website, it's faithalivenow.com. Scroll down, click the donate button. You can give via PayPal, credit card, or a debit card. Also, you can utilize the Cash App. It's $FAM Center, or if you'd like, you can mail it in to 935 North Bendix, Bendix, Bendix Drive in the city of South Bend, Indiana. Zip code 46628. Make all checks and money orders payable to FAM or Faith Alive. Again, I hope you were blessed tremendously. Share this with somebody. I believe it will encourage them. You all have a great day. Say it with me. 1, 2, 3. Every debt is canceled. Every bill is paid. My body is healed. My mind is regulated. My family is restored. The devil is defeated in Jesus' name. And we are above only. God bless you guys, and I'll see you soon.
Giving at Faith Alive is very easy. You can give by using the Givelify app. Just look up Faith Apostolic Ministries in South Bend, Indiana, or scan the QR code on the screen. You can give with the Cash App. Send your gift to $FAM Center. You can also give by going to our website, faithalivenow.com. Scroll down and click on the donate button, and you will be able to use PayPal, a debit card, or a credit card to give your financial gift. Lastly, if you prefer, you can mail your gift to Faith Alive Ministries, 935 North Bendix Drive, South Bend, Indiana, 46628. We appreciate all of you who give to this ministry. We pray God's blessings upon you and your household.
This ain't church as usual. Can't you tell by the music, bro? Can't you tell by the love you felt before you took one step through the door? And that next level teaching got us reaching higher every week. Frequent flyer, speaking life despite deceased and viral. Meant we in cause he's inside. It's not a private party, you're invited. Come in tired, believe inspired. All generations, even cyber. Find us on the web like we some spiders. Let's slow it down so you understand how it's going down. Up in here, there's one rule. Gotta love everybody that comes through. Them doors, in short, grace is what we endorse. Faith is what we help grow. Welcome to the FAM Center, you know.